I am realizing in this season that working with yourself involves being open to change, accepting where you are in the present moment, and laying aside your very carefully laid plans and knowing that working with yourself ends up working in your favor and for your benefit. And I think this video is an example of that. I had plans to do a sit down and talk video, and as I really started to think about planning the outline for the next video, I just felt like it wasn't coming together energetically. Then I thought, okay, well, I'm gonna do a video where I am going into town and maybe just kind of frolicking, in town. And I woke up this morning to do that, and it just felt like that doesn't feel like where I am today. And the sun was shining, and I thought, you know what? I can go outside and just record something really short and still put a video out, because I was fighting myself because I really do want to be consistent in this season and put out videos. But I do think that working with myself, especially in this moment, that looks like reinventing your plans. It's like I can be consistent, but it's so easy to think that being consistent means I need to make a 15 to 20 minute video with 3 bullet points, bring in this source, bring in that source. But it can also look like presence, and when I think about what I wanted this channel to be, kind of my creative diary where I really can document where I am in the present and show what I'm learning along the way, this, more than anything, I think, feels like a true example of that, where you turn off the camera. It doesn't have to be lights, camera, action, but really being in a place where you can be present and kind of be where you are. And it's so funny that as I'm saying that, the sun is coming out. I really made all of these plans to come out and film because the sun was shining, and as soon as I stepped foot outside, it was cloudy and it started to rain. I thought, okay, that's it. It's just not today. But then I thought, why can't it be today? Go out and see, and I'm out here and the sun is starting to kind of peek through again. So I'm just gonna read for a little bit and bringing you along for the ride. But above all, today's message is work with yourself. Work with yourself. And to be honest, it's kind of cool to do something new. I'm in a new environment, and yeah, there are things that are maybe slightly more uncomfortable than maybe sitting where you have a whole studio set up and your mic and your lights and everything is kind of controlled. This kind of feels like a step into the wild, but I really do think that wilderness is such a great way to pave new paths and to try something new. I definitely was going back and forth about making a video, and I literally told my husband I'm not making a video this week, but something in my spirit didn't feel right about that. So I think that this was a great way to meet in the middle, and something that I have been working on is like, it doesn't always have to be all or nothing. It can be all or something. And I really do think that this video is such an example of that. No, I didn't have the energy, or maybe it wasn't the right time to do something full scale with a mic and lights and the whole setup. But I absolutely think that there was enough space to come outside, record, and try something new. And another thing that I thought is this video does not have to be 30 minutes long. It feels like it, you know what I mean? But why can't it be 5 minutes? And I literally told myself, if you go outside and shoot 5 different things for 1 minute, that is a 5-minute video. That is enough. It doesn't have to be full scale every time. It doesn't have to be the same format every time. And even being here outside, I feel different. I think it's gonna bring a new element and new possibility to future videos that I've done. Yeah, I've never recorded myself outside, and maybe that's what today's lesson was. Yeah, that's enough. So I hope this video encourages you to rest, to work with yourself, and to reinvent, to reimagine, and to step outside of the box of the way that you feel that you have to get things done. So this video is your sign to step outside of the ways you felt like something had to be done. I'm finding that that can be great, but it can also be quite rigid. And stepping outside of that opens you to all of the possibility that there is outside of your plans. So yeah, I'm gonna do some reading and shoot some stuff outside. I'm currently reading Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. It's a book about a therapist going to therapy, and it's documenting some of the stories that she has learned through her practice, but also some of the stories and lessons of her going to therapy herself. And I think she does a really beautiful job so far of intersecting the two. And I'm learning that even if you do have a lot of formal experience and education and training, that you still cannot escape the experience of being human. And yeah, it's been a really great read. It's funny too, oddly enough. So in this chapter of the book, she's talking about the stages of change when you're trying to change anything in your life. And I just thought it was really interesting that she points out these steps. She says, Prochaska, forgive me if I'm saying that wrong, developed the trans-theoretical model of behavior change, TTM, based on research showing that people generally don't just do it as Nike might have it, but instead tend to move through a series of sequential stages that look like this: pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, and maintenance, which I thought was really interesting. And that when it's time to change any specific behavior in your life or to make any sort of change, that sometimes you might be in the middle of a phase and not even notice it. So I just thought that was really interesting. And I honestly think that even if you are in therapy or considering therapy, honestly, just to read about people's stories and to read about the ways that they overcome challenges or refuse to move out of certain challenges is just really enlightening to read. But that's it.